cracking open a cold one.
Only shooting stars break the
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Runo Stromkirk, who summons Krothuss, Lord of the Deep. Runo enters and puts any creature from your graveyard on top of your deck. Then at the start of your turn, can choose to reveal the top card of your library. You get to look at it first, and if it is a creature that has a mana value 6 or greater, you transform him, turning him to a cloning machine, Krothuss, Lord of the Deep. This flying creature attacks in and clones other attacking creatures, and if those attacking creatures happen to be Krakens, Leviathans, Octopi, or Serpents, which I should mention, he is also a Kraken, you get 2 copies instead of just 1. Now that said, this deck is not all sea creatures, though it does have a good number of them. It is an enter the battlefield reanimator deck, because you really can't rely on Runo being able to transform and attack and have another attacking creature that is worth cloning, because it's very tricky to have all of those things happen, especially on curve. This deck, you're gonna notice its curve is, well, there's a lot of creatures that cost 6 or more mana, because I really want Runo to transform. Now, many of these creatures have other abilities attached to them. So yes, you could draw them or reveal them. You don't even need to put them into the graveyard or put them on top, though many of these can put themselves into the graveyard. This is a deck that you are hoping to reveal and then get to copy even some of the lower value, lower cost cards. But if you happen to mill and reanimate some of these cards, you can go wild early in the game, and there are a couple nice milling cards in this deck. I do really like the cycling cards, like Troll of Khazad-dûm, that Perforator Crocodile, and even Kalim, which you can discard and then put back on top of the deck for Runo. But this is also really fun with Blinkers, Bouncers, and the card that goes the best with it, Summon Leviathan, which you want to play only if Runo is transformed, but will give you an army of, well, real big fish. So let's take Runo into the queue and get fishing. Renie of the Unwritten summons dragons when it enters or attacks. I am going to throw this hand back because it doesn't even have blue mana in it, and wow, that's fixin'. I've got a little bit of ramp, a little bit of mill, and a very, very large construct. Which, if it ends up in my graveyard, maybe I can use it to transform Runo, and then maybe I can copy it on attack for tons of damage. I'm just going to start out, though, nice and simple. Marsh Flats into Undercity Sewers so I can surveil. Summon Leviathan. I am just going to put that into the graveyard, because it means that, with Runo, I'll be able to put it on top of my deck and transform him, which is the thing I've been working so hard to do. Takes a lot of work to flip a man. A Garblin? A Narcomancer? This doesn't get me that much if I do it this turn. I think I'll go for the Mire Triton instead. Mill for me! Good, more big boys in the graveyard. Yeah, Leviathan would bounce, all of those dragons if they don't kill me on the turn a Renie enters. Usually, I was about to say, a Renie is given haste, and that's how it gets haste. All right, cool. Ancient Tomb gets me this Talisman of Dominance, and Runo! I ramped. It's hard, but I did it. Here's Leviathan. I'll swing in for 2. Boop. Nice. Hiya, Renie. Misty Rainforest. They're going to get themselves a 4th land. And remember, they do have a discount on their red and green spells. Ooh, which does include this Rampant Dragon, which draws them a card. It already has haste, and it makes a treasure on attack. And notably, non-creature things are not bounced by Leviathan. So I am going to reveal this card I've put on top of my deck. Oh my god, it's like we knew what it was. I will go to combat. Swing with my Mire Triton, and I guess I'm gonna leave Krothuss back. I know I can clone this, but I don't really need to right now. I would rather have this ready as a blocker in the air. But everyone's like, Amy, that's your like second ever chance to clone. Yes, I know. But there are dragons happening, and I want to be like a little defensive. On the ground, yes, but in the air also, like if Goldspan comes out, I want to prevent the 4 damage to my face. Okay, those 2 return. Now what I want to do is attack with this and start cloning this. We attack in together. We draw cards because you are a Leviathan. You are a Kraken. By the way, this is a Merfolk. That's why it didn't get bounced. Oh, another Haste Enabler. They have 6 mana. This will just bounce every single non-fishy thing every turn. This is the dream. So can I get rid of Krothuss? Can I get rid of Leviathan? Can they do none of those things? I'm attacking in. And I'm cloning the Leviathan because it's a 6/6. Also, I get twice the clones and they die. Because that's 12 additional damage coming in. We drew a couple cards. Nice deck. Oh my gosh. I can't say thanks in response. I'll say, howdy. And they're flashing out this Cunning Azure Scale. In response, I will counter it. I'm living the dream! Finally, Runo gets to live it out and copy all the fish. GG. Prototype X8, very similar to my own commander, except they're going to be doing a lot more self-milling and discarding to set up, because the more they do of that, the lower cost their commander is, and their commander essentially doubles enter the battlefields, but does so by killing the creatures and making robot copies of them. This hand is very expensive, and it does have a board wipe, which is nice, and a little bit of ramp. I'll keep this, and I'm gonna hope that they mill something worth stealing. I really need to either do that or travail something into the graveyard, because otherwise I'm not doing anything other than playing Runo and hoping for the best. What'd you get? Shambling Ghast! That's a really fun 1-drop. I'm not running in this deck. I'm running a similar card, though. I'm running the, like, rat that mills and gives -1/-1 when it dies. Okay, that's a wash away. That's more helpful in my hand. It would be able to counter Prototype X8 or another card, depending on how much mana I have. Oh, I'm being asked, should I have done a skip the land and reanimate Frost Titan? That would have been a good way to cut off their lands. I wasn't thinking about it, but that could have worked. So they draw, they discard. Please discard a good creature. Please discard a good creature. Please. Please, one worth stealing. Yeah, all right. Riddle me this, Quantum Riddler. Ow, that cost 5 life. That's a good card, though. So Quantum Riddler is just a generically good card. If you're wondering why is it not in this deck, well, they're going to trade for it back. If you're wondering why is it not in this deck, the answer is because it costs 5 and not 6. This deck really wants things that are creatures that cost 6. No, Boggart. Aww. I also am planning on bogging them, let's be real. I have Boggart Trawler in my hands. Alright, we'll go for the big fix in here. Alright, they're not into it. I'm going to do some ramping and use said ramp to play Runo. Right now, they only have one creature in the graveyard, so Prototype X8, not too crazy. I don't have any creatures to put on top of my deck, but that's not necessary. That's just the easiest way to flip him. Yeah, my life is a resource, and I only have 15 left. Worth it. Oh, but they persist! Putting that in hand so they can draw a card. Nice. Hold up. They just glimpsed to mill 10. That's a fish. Decline. So, hey. Yeah. Yeah, alright. I think that's fair. I didn't want to pay 2 life. Oh, hey, Emmett. Yeah, we're bogarting. Hey, Jill. Jill, we can do things. Decline. Ishtola does not have anything that good to blink here. Like, I can blink Boggart Trawler just to mess with their graveyard. I think I pay the life, and I go for Frost Titan, and I lock down this Quantum Riddler so it can't attack me. And then I'll just swing in for 3 in the air. I'm leaving these back for better blocks. Stay frosty, friends. Starfield Vocalist doubles enter the battlefield. They warped it in, though, so they can double which enter the battlefield. Grief! And they are cheating it in with the Thoughtseize. That's actually kind of funny to me that they're cheating it in with the Thoughtseizes. Like... yeah, they're gonna hit my hand twice with this. All right, what do you hit? I think... Ishtola Wash Away? Or no, maybe Deluge. Like, I know life is a resource, but I have the biggest creature in play. I am it. Bloop, bloop. Oh, they drew 2 because of Riddler's text. That was the plan. I like it. I like it. And Quantum Riddler, you have text. I block. Orange Soul Trader. Decline. The lockdown Watery Grave. Boop, 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 boop. Prototype X8 now only costs 2. Oh, Mr. Butler, what do you mill? Ooh, I saw that fish. No rush. Here's Prototype X8. They still have 3 mana. They have a treasure from the Shambling Ghast. Unable to scream. I will not be able to transform Runo. Okay. That's a bummer. I wouldn't have been able to anyway, because it was not a real big fish on the top. Tip. And you deal 1 damage on death? No? Okay. They're at 1. It looks like I'm winning. Well, that's good at least. GG Prototype X8. Sleeping Wisp is playing Cornella Glamour Thief. I believe this is somebody who's frequently in my chat. Hello, this is a deck that is looping spells from the graveyard, because that's what Cornella does. I'm going to try to put things in my graveyard as well using Stitcher's Supplier. Step 1, we mill. Step 2, we find things. Yeah, alright. There, I milled the reanimate and the thing I would like to reanimate, but at least I can put that on top of my deck. I will use Psychic Frog now as my threat of the hour. This card is silly. It does specifically, feel very good in this deck because it gives me a way to put things in the graveyard to then put them on top of my deck. But also, Psychic Frog is just ridiculous. Why is this? I attack in. That's 2 blue. So I'm actually not going to cast Runo here. Call it an I don't trust like that. They wiggled. Him to the ages! I'm gonna get a non-land. Unless... Mana drain, so they will have 6 mana, I believe. Or does it only hit 2? No, it's for the spell, so it should just be 2. That's fine with me, though. Ooh, for we can persist. I'll start with the attack. See what I draw. Yeah, very Modern Horizons card design over here. I like that Cunning Azure Scale, so I'm going to bring that out. Over going for Runo. This is going to just get me immediate into the battlefield value. Yeah. Non-lands. Oh! And well, would you look at that? Man! A drain! Sleeping Wisp currently does not have red mana, so they cannot play Cornella. A primal amulet. More like a primal nabulet. Because I'm taking it. Like, I know they have red mana from the land they got off the cycle, but they didn't play it first. Now I have mana. Now I could play Runo. Or I could Crabomination. Or I could do both. Get him, Crab. That's a good crab right there. What do we steal? What do we steal? What do we steal? Is that a Discover the Formula? And a Dig Through time. Yep, I want Discover the Formula. This will discount everything in my hand. Oh, sweet. It's free mana. No, actually, I wanted you to use the colorless mana for that. Mana. Mana. Man, oh man, it's mana. Putting Leviathan on top of my deck. By the way, Leviathan does bounce crabs. Alright, I guess I'd be attacking first. Whatever, I'll have it in my hand. Runo, you'll flip otherwise. I forgot that was pre-combat. Let's see if we get, board wiped here. Cornella currently not in play to generate additional mana. Leviathan in a mirror match where it's just yeah, who flips first? I would say that this is probably my favorite card with Runo. Is summon Leviathan. Alright, so this is 3 mana up, as long as they fetch. Reveal! It was a swamp. Techno Shaman, thank you so much for the sub. I will... exile Cornella because her ability only triggers when she dies. Yeah, if I had done that a little smarter last turn, we could have had, the crab clone army. Ugh, that would have been so beautiful. Alright, we go. We attack! We attack. We attack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. What is this? X damage negating X life. That's fine. I go to combat, swing in. I'm going to discard a card. 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 And let me just double check. 5, 15. 15! That's lethal. Modern Horizons design. Psychic Frog, still a problem. GG. Vivi, going to be slinging spells, getting huge and dealing damage to me. I have a Dark Ritual. I guess I can use that to get to a Solemn Simulacrum faster in this hand. And I guess I'll keep this. It is not likely to actually be able to remove Vivi because typically he is played and then like followed up with a spell, so it immediately gets value. But I will still keep this. Oh, nice! Cavern of Souls. I could name Cleric. I think this is the only Cleric in my deck, but it's what I got. I'm gonna hold that Wash Away over going for that Dark Ritual Solemn Simulacrum Gambit. Just keep doing this. Sitting there, chilling, hanging. I'll try to play Runo. I guess I should have gone for the Cavern there. Oh, look at that! Nothing gets put on top of my deck. I have nothing to put on top of my deck. But they didn't have a counterspell. Yeah, the Vivi is kind of like a Storm deck. Just because he generates the mana right away. Which is so weird. Why aren't you a tap ability? Alright, let's see if this is maybe a Wash Away or a Negate or even a Tail's End for my Scalding Tarn. I will pay the life. We are a deck in black. That's what we do. We pay life. We're also in blue. So we counter things. I have like, I think 2 counter spells and a creature that counters things in this deck. Okay, so they actually pacted it. And they still have 2 mana up. Really packed. That's the counterspell you had available. Okay, you have 2 mana. What are you doing with it? Paying 5 on your next turn? Okay, I understand. Dang. Okay. I guess I'll try to kill Vivi? A wizard's retort! I see. I'm 1 mana off of being able to summon Leviathan here. Boop, I'll put you back in hand. You have to pay 5 mana next turn. I know you have to pay 5 mana because you're the one who packed it. A Temple of Epiphany! Hey, that's that creature counter I was talking about. Urtai! He's really cool. Cleric. This is a wizard, not a cleric. Yeah, doing the Summon Leviathan, I don't actually want to cast it right here. Because he's not transformed. But I do have Urtai held up with the Dark Ritual. So I could counter Vivi again. Or just, like, hope they can't take an extra turn and then bounce it. I think I'm more likely to kill Vivi than bounce it. Or counter it. Because I want them to, like, commit to casting a spell for the buff. Yeah, exactly, like that. Alright, so... we Dark Ritual. Tie. And this kills the boy. No. What's that? One second. I clicked on it. There we go. Sorry about that. No more Vivis. Vivi die. Vivi dead. And now, if I reveal a real big fish, I can start cloning Solemn Simulacrum, because we can all attack in together. What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, yes! Reveal! Krothuss! Join me in the deep! Oh, wait, hold up. Are they stopping me? I managed to get him to transform. I attacked for 5. I don't really mind bouncing these back into my hand because the Enter the Battlefields are really good. Gonna play Runo again. I thought about drawing and discarding to put this on top of my deck so a Runo was guaranteed to flip, but I don't want them to know I have this. I was so close. There's a lot of moving parts here. So many pieces. Oh, are you gonna turn me into a treasure? Kind of weird. All right. I'm going to draw and discard. Or try to. They could counter this. Alright. I'm gonna put everything back into hand. Runo's not a creature right now. So Runo will just, like, come back into being. I wish I still had the land, because then I could have helped for the mana drain. Or do you counter fish? No. Good. Runo, end them! Vivi's in play once again. They have 3 mana to work with, and their blue spells have a discount. That said, they can also make a lot of mana if they draw some cards this turn. So we'll see if they buff Vivi up, either through spellcasting or through Eidetic Memory. This is one of those turns where I'm, like, worried about them chaining together extra turns. Okay, Misty Rainforest. They are fetching. Probably just grabbing a basic island. No, Mystic Sanctuary. Okay. They put Cyclonic Rift back on top of their deck. Would you like to disable Runo with the kite sail? What is it? Yes! Go! My army of fish! And I even have a counter spell in hand. 2 of them. Come on. Come on. Let me in, Vivi. I need to kill you. Vivi, I'm killing you. Vivi. Vivi, I need you to die. Krothuss attacks, makes a copy of Leviathan. I can't believe I got to do this twice! Haha, yes! Let me kill! Yeah, it's 2 more copies of Leviathan. Come on, Vivi. You're getting back in hand. Let me hit. Cast a spell. You want to Aetherize me? Don't care, mana drain. You want to do it twice? Or tie? I win. Out of here, little tiny wizard boy. Isear Iron Eater plays artifacts to discount itself and then throws those artifacts. It also draws a bunch of cards when it enters. It's really doing it all with artifact synergy. I do not have anything other than a kill spell here, but it's a kill spell that very nicely lets me discard. Oh, nice, a piece of ramp. Because if I can discard a real big fish, then I can put it on top of my deck and transform Runo. Even though I won't be copying anything for a little while, at least I'd have a 3/5 attacker that will eventually be copying things. Hi, Isear. I imagine they don't play too many creatures in their deck. Like, probably some of the creatures that have affinity, because those are very good for flinging. So defense grid is going to make it much harder for me to do things. But that is going to be just what I need. I'm going to play this Arcane Signet. And next turn, I can play Runo, and even though I don't have anything to put back on top of my deck, I can just stack my deck after playing Runo to put Lochmere Serpent or Meringue River Regent on top of the deck. Artifacts are happening. Okay, here's Runo. Runo has nothing to put back. And we brainstorm. And I'm going to put all 3 fish on top of the deck if I can. Oh no, I only get to put 2. I'll put these 2 on top of the deck. I want that one to be the one I draw. And I had to do that on my turn because of defense grid. Do you mind? They got so many cool rocks. No, they're blasting Runo! Well, we were prepared for this. Cornella Cutter makes a little guy. Ooh, yeah, there's one of the affinity cards. So that's really good to fling because it deals 7 damage because it's based on mana value. You let me bounce it though, right? Yes, you do. I'm just gonna go for Runo again. I know what I want to do. I want to transform my commander. Here's Isear. They draw some cards. If they got a land, and they did, they can now throw the Frogmere at Runo and kill him. Okay. I understand. This is just not a game where we're casting Runo anymore. But that's alright. I'm going to sit here and try to get them to attack into a... Wait a minute. 3 more. I guess I'll just sit here and kill Isear. I was thinking, like, I can flash this out, can't I? No. It costs too many mana. Hey, Tezzeret. What do you get, Tezzy? A Mox Opal. That's a good one.
My will is my own.
Boots with the spurs. Those prowess tokens are getting awful nasty. If you're wondering what the difference between this and the paper version of Cornella Cutter is, it's no trample. Boop. We wave goodbye. And a Reckoner's Bargain. They're sacrificing it so they can cast it again next turn. Since... Oh, actually, this turn! Nice! With the Mox Opal and stuff, they're able to get it out again. Oh, and there's a Mox Amber. There's stormy seas ahead. I have no creatures in my graveyard. I can discard one and reanimate it, though, so I'm going to Bitter Triumph, discarding. I'll go for killing Tezzeret here. I'll discard the Meringue River Regent. Or... yeah, Meringue River Regent. I'm trying to think of which is the best thing for me to set up to blink with Ishtola. Alright, so we will bounce Quarry Steel Cutter. Actually, no, I'm going to bounce like 2 Mana Rocks, I think. Yeah. Since most of the things they have in play are free. They've drawn so many cards of Imskir too. It's great. Great for them, not for me. Oh yeah, this has been a very good card. This like huge flyer that has this like alternate mode, which is really good in a deck like Runo where our curve is so confused. I'll block the monkey. Am I gonna get bolted? I only have 4 life left. Do they have 4 mana to throw an artifact? I think the highest cost artifact they have out, that was 2. Okay. They could throw 2 things next turn to kill me. Yeah, it's a big flyer, it's a good blocker, it's a lot of stuff. Things I am. Probably dead. It's tough because, like, killing Imskir doesn't do it. Imskir just comes back. So I'll flicker this Meringue River Regent, which will allow me to bounce 2 things. If I can make them cast it again. And then we do it again. But bouncing it back into hand, like, it will only cost 2. And I think they just have enough mana that they can throw 2 2-cost artifacts at me. Prowess. They also have a good attack with some of these wee creatures. Or I think they could just kill me with the Quarry Steel Cutter tokens. It looks like that's the way they're gonna do it. Permissive Return, getting in that last prowess trigger they need. And now it's very much lethal. No blocks? We take it and die. GG, Imskir. Roxan, Starfall, Savant throws rocks that deal 2 damage. You can even double that trigger and get it extra times because it's whenever she enters or attacks. This hand, I have the chance to potentially surveil a card and then reanimate it. I think it's going to be too slow. I think this is a much faster hand, especially with Dark Ritual. I do like a Dark Ritual. Even though I'm not using it on turn 1 here, it will be used because that helps me get out things like this a little earlier. No, the cards that are fast in this hand, though, Psychic Frog? Psychic Frog lets me, on turn 2, discard this so I can put it back on top of my deck with Runo, so I can transform Runo and make a copy of Psychic Frog while it's attacking in. Yeah, Psychic Frog sure is a card. It's a ridiculous card. It's a card that probably shouldn't exist, but it's here. And we have it. Good old Modern Horizons design problems. Even though I would like more lands, I'm going to take Virtue. It can kill Roxanne. It can kill most mana dorks. So I think it's fine. Here, have a frog. All glory to the Hypnotoad. So they're ramping, silly style. They went from 1 mana to 4 mana here. Because Ancient Tomb is a card. It's in this deck too. Not because it helps me casting my commander, but it helps me cast the other stuff. Panharmonicon will double not just Roxanne's enter, but the enter of the meteorites. Alright, we're in danger. So each one will deal 4 damage. They get like 8 extra damage this turn. See if I can draw a counter spell. Nope. Big fish. That's fine. I'm still gonna go for Runo. Put the Broodlord on top. And at least the one thing I am happy about is I can probably protect the Psychic Frog. So yeah, this is going to be Roxanne enters and deals 8 damage. Yay, danger. Ha ha ha. Great. Because she gets a double trigger and then the rocks get double triggers. Okay, so yeah, I'm not able to protect Runo at all. But I can protect the frog. I have eventual reanimation. I could technically play it early. Yeah, this is also ramp, which is tough. Yeah, they know I'm able to protect the Psychic Frog, so they're just directing that at face. But, like, even if I kill Roxanne, they play her again. She has fully refunded her mana cost here. Which... yeah, alright. Out of here, Roxanne. And I'm gonna get a... counter spell for her, right? I don't have many counter spells in this deck. But I have a few. Few's better than none. These are not what I need. Welcome back, Roxanne. Menace to all. So she's again going to have 8 damage to distribute as she pleases, probably killing that Baleful Strix. And a bit to my face. 6 to my face? Yeah, that sounds right. I could top deck a Cyclonic Rift. That's in the deck. That would help. Don't strip mine me. Well, now it wouldn't matter. Alright, we'll just go ahead and exile 3 cards from the graveyard. And I will discard. And I will discard. And I'm gonna discard. And I'll discard a card. Yeah. And I'm gonna discard a card again. Okay, cool. Okay, good. It's a land. Dark Ritual. Virtue of Persistence. Oh no, I don't have enough? Oh, that's 6 mana. Fine. Runo, I guess. And I'll put Forge Fire Automaton on top of my deck. Okay, so I was thinking like, oh, they won't get to deal 8 damage now, so it's fine that I like discarded this low with the frog. It's actually not fine because of Parallel Lives. This is also a kicked Sowing Mycospawn. So they can kill the Psychic Frog. But they would also need to kill Runo or have something to block it because it is going to transform. He is going to transform this next turn. Yeah, parallel lives means twice the tokens. Each of the tokens will do too, so it's the same thing as when she was entering. Are they directing it all at the frog or all at Runo? It's not enough to kill me, going face. So they're going all on the frog. But remember, I put that Forge Fire Automaton on top of my deck. Yes, you have lands. You have so much mana. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. 13. Oh no, each of those taps for 2. I reveal. Ha 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 ha. And I attack. Krothuss hits for lethal. GG. Freya Crescent, going to be able to tap for equipment and equipment abilities. She also flies during their turn. I don't think I've ever run into a Freya before. I probably said that the last time I ran into a Freya, because I just don't remember it. I'll keep this. Looking good. I've got blue mana. I got black mana. I got some removal, got counter spells, got discard spells, no reanimation, and nothing big enough to flip Runo, but we might be able to find some. That'd be neat. Oh, there's something I could use to flip Runo. I'm just going to march flats into the Surveil land. There it is. And I will take another land. Now, there's a lot of good equipment, colorless and in red, that they could get out early with Freya. It's cool. You got mono red ramp in the command zone just only for equipment. So let's see if they bring out, I don't know, some Quarry Steel Cutters or some Shadow Spears. Lots of good choices. A Sword of Wealth and Power, which demands that I remove this before it is equipped, because then I'll have protection from instants and sorceries. Wouldn't stop them from getting destroyed by like a damnation, but still would be a problem. Pretty hard for me to deal with. Big fish, big fish, big fish. This is one of my like dream cards to get to clone because it does not bounce the backside here. It does not bounce the Krothuss. So you just like keep cloning it and keep bouncing all of your opponent's stuff or your other good enter the battlefields. Ugh, what if I actually get to do that in a game? That'd be so amazing. The dream. Do I want to just hold for mana drain or play Runo? I want to play my commander. I respect that my opponent is doing something a little different. So let's do something a little different too. They've got the ability to make some more mana here using this Garblin. They can also discard and draw. If Sword of Wealth and Power is attached to that Goblin, they'll get a treasure when it hits me. It'll have +2/+2, and they can even double the next instant or sorcery they cast, like, I don't know, a Lightning Bolt, which would kill Runo and make me sad. I'm just hoping, like, Heart of the Cards, it's like a 1 in 7 chance. Top of the deck is big fish. We flip. I don't even have anything to, like, double yet, but, like, maybe that Grief eventually. That could be cool. Is my opponent's deck a Voltron deck? Yeah, I would say so. They swing in. They get a treasure from the attack trigger. Then they get another treasure. And Merlin, thank you for the 2-month resub. What do you got? Count on luck. That's just mono red card advantage. Let's go for it. And a Bastronaut. They're going to start their engines, and once this gets to full speed... Decline. Once it gets to full speed, it'll have a double strike. I think going for Grief is a good idea here over the ramp, or going for Key to the Archive for some double ramp. If I go for like Dimir Signet, I'm just holding up Mana Drain, and that's boring. Grief. Show me what they got. Okay, Sword of Mountain Dew and Doritos. We're gonna drop that, and I'll sit here. Table the Mirror Breaker transforms. This will be able to clone their creatures. Freya's just chilling, like, oh, you have a flying commander? Yeah, I do. So they attack, they get a treasure. They hit and get a treasure? Do they get to hit? I could double block this, but then my chances of cloning, they go down. Nah, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna go for the double block. They kill one of them, unless they have another spell in hand, which we can see one of the two spells. And I guess they're trying to pick which one to destroy. Now, Runo's not actually that impactful here, but it is good at blocking Freya. Oh, well, we are entering maintenance soon. It's Monday, it's not Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, alright. Sure, Wizards of the Coast. I wonder if that pop-up bricked my opponent's game. Because they're stuck here. They're just sitting there. Okay, I think they're back because I saw them hovering over my cards. And now I think they're just picking that damage distribution. And they're choosing to kill Grief. They're putting the sword onto the Burnout Bastronaut. My speed is still at 1, thankfully. Would you like to play Draconautics Engineer Freya? Or do you have something else to do with that mana? Okay, I'm still revealing if it's big. It's not. You know, I'm going to reveal it anyway and then play it to just be like, haha! Islands! Sure is! And I'm going to go for the double ramp this turn. Over the, like, ramp once hold a mana drain. So if I had Runo, just, like, out there, I'd probably go for... Like, if I had it still in the command zone, I probably would drop this so I could put it on top of the deck. Now, do I want Tutor? I think I do want Tutor. But I should be able to bounce everything next turn with Leviathan. That would be helpful. Hello. They have lots of mana. They've got some card advantage. They put, this is Soul Seer. They have a way to destroy Runo. Runo would get bounced unless it transforms when I play Leviathan. They are killing it anyway. Alright, cool. Put it into the command zone. It looks like we're going to take some damage. They are not using this to make any clones. Speed goes up. What do you do with that mana? Alright. Now I could give him a couple of stab wounds. Or I could just bounce it. Let's get bouncing. Each creature that is not a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent will be returned to its owner's hand. Which they currently have a Goblin, and a Mite? A Mite! I can hold up mana drain, or I could tutor for something to do a crazy setup here. But like next turn, I can just play Virtue. That way, when this dies, I'll be able to bring it back. Though not on the same turn that it dies because of how this works. They do have a haste enabler here, but it's not easily going to be able to get through this Leviathan. Not just because it's ward, but it's a 6/6. Mirix, doing the thing. They put a mountain into exile. That Count on Luck's been doing great for them. Of the things in their hand, the one I'm most likely to mana drain is Fable the Mirror Breaker. But I should mention, so far, they've only played one equipment. I made them discard one. So I feel like the basis of their deck, a lot of just good stuff in red and a bit of aggro. They're playing the Fable. I will counter that. That will get me 3 more mana. And with 3 additional mana next turn, should be able to potentially double spell. Let's see what else they throw out. Or if they just want to sit on Mirrex. Who wants a stab wound? Play some critters that all get stab wounds. They don't wanna. Okay, Draconautics Engineer. With the sword? Great! We get some extra mana. I'm going to use said mana for... Am I feeling a crocodile? I am. Perforator Crocodile. Stab. Swinging in, seeing what I draw. Ooh, Overlord. Nice. I'm going to cast this Overlord of the Baelmerk for the full 5 mana. Mill, 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 mill. And I will grab Grief. They'll take 2. In this turn, if they'd like to, they could generate a Dragonosaur. Yeah, it's a Dragosaur. Or give it haste. They could play with fire. Maybe they could play Freya. I'm gonna use Overlord of Baelmerk to try to set this back up, though. Just like, I can bounce these back into hand. They have good enter the battlefields. If they play weenies that die to being stopped by crocodiles. Great. Oh, they are lighting my Overlord on fire. It is on fire. Ooh, and they're going to finish the job with Glorybringer, who could deal an additional 4 damage to it. Rad. And now I won't be able to bring back the Leviathan. Well, I won't be able to bring back the Leviathan with the cards I previously had, and I just got to persist. I was thinking, like, oh, I'd have to tutor for one. Wrong, it's right here, right now. Alright, I'm gonna swing in with the Crocodile. I wonder if they'll block with the Draconautics Engineer. Dude, right? Glorybringer's so cool. Unfortunately, if I bounce it back into hand, it could just kill Runo. Oops. So what I'm going to need to do is persist. I could either go for this, into this. It matters very little to me. I'm going to go for just the Leviathan. I'm going to bounce it into their hand. That also puts the stab wound into the graveyard. And then I'm going to full cost the Grief to get rid of it. Forge Devil. Left aside. Okay. Demonic Tutor. I have enough mana for Arden. That could be fun. I mean, it would probably end the game, which is what I need to do. I'll grab Arden. And next turn I can play him, start reanimating more creatures from my graveyard. They will be lifelinking and hasting. And lifelink, I will say, is the bane of mono red decks. Unless they Screaming Nemesis and pinged it with a Forge Devil, which... Screaming Nemesis. What a card. Hi, Koth. Koth can kill one of these two. If they don't, I do have lethal again off Arden in the swing.
Catch this.
They shove Grief. I have no creatures left. That's fine. Here's Arden. Glorybringer has nothing to hit. Leviathan would put Arden back into hand. Simulacrum and Overlord and Grief are all a ton of value. I'm going to go for the Overlord. Me will. Oh, there's actually something I can cast this turn, so I'll go for that. I'm going to ignore Koth. Keep millin' and thrillin' and schmillin'. Gain some life and win the game. GG, Freya. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I hope you liked seeing Runo do Runo things. And thank you so much to Eopia for supporting my channel as a Big Dog member. When you join as a Big Dog as part of the YouTube membership program, you do get to request a commander for Brawl Stars, and Eopia chose Runo. Also hopped into the chat while I was recording. Hi, how you doing? This is a deck that turned out all right. When I first built it, I definitely was built a lot more around the big sea creatures theme, but when I was doing that, I ran into 3 Ren and 6s in a row, and I realized it's just never gonna work. I need this deck to be ramp, to be reanimation, and to have some cool interaction. So a couple kill spells, counter spells, and curve manipulators came into the deck, and now I have a deck that has about a 1 in 5 chance of just naturally revealing a card off the top and flipping Runo, because this curve is silly. Somebody in my chat, I think it was Illuminati, said it's not a mana curve, it's a mana cliff. And it still worked out pretty well. This deck ended up having about a 50% win rate, which is great. I'm happy enough to play a off the beaten path commander and have it perform perfectly average. If you're looking for the deck list, you can find it in the description of the video. And if you would like to make me build you a Brawl deck, you can do so by joining as a Big Dog in the membership program. You can also suggest a commander by letting me know in the comments. Right now, I'm looking for Spider-Man commanders to build. And there's a lot of legendaries in that set. Some of them are kind of boring. Some of them are awesome. If y'all have not watched my Gloria and Spot videos, or Aranya and Spot videos, you absolutely should. Those commanders slap. Cosmic Spider-Man was a hoot. There's a lot of really silly cards in there, and about half of them are spiders. So go check out some Spider-Man. They're fun. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.